Hello, I'm Dr. Stephen Franson from The Remarkable Practice. Thank you for joining me for another episode of the Remarkable Practice Academy. I am sure that you will find that each of these videos will bring huge value as standalone segments, but together they create a comprehensive training system that will equip and empower you to build your own remarkable practice. So train hard. Your town is counting on you. Remember, you're in the business of saving lives, so when business is good, everybody wins. Can you imagine having the ability to influence your patients to make better healthcare decisions? How much greater of an impact could you make on your community if your patients actually followed your recommendations in a consistent and predictable way? What if I told you that science has discovered the way that our brains are wired and that we can now predict the way that people will behave based solely on communication? Would you be interested in developing that skill? Social scientists, behavioral psychologists, and influence masters have identified human traits and tendencies, these neurological automaticity pathways and trigger features that are nothing short of social jujitsu. Face it, we're covered with buttons, and so are your patients. Consistent behaviors create predictable outcomes. For example, looking at my shirt, you could probably guess what my favorite fruit is. That's right, apples. Let me guess, if you were listening, your brain just jammed. You thought oranges, right? You see, your brain predictably filled in the gaps for you, leading you to a conclusion. The fact that I answered apples, and apples are red, your brain jumped for a second. That's called a pattern interrupt, and I could predict what you would think. Science tells us this. If you know what you want, identify the behaviors that lead to it, and then do them consistently. Oh, it sounds easy, so why isn't everybody doing it? If the advent of the internet and its accompanying free flow of information has taught us anything about adopting healthier habits, it's this. People don't need more information. They need more transformation. In any significant change effort, we don't need more explaining or logical advice. We need help changing. Because let's face it, change is hard. In fact, the statistics show that it's almost impossible to change unless you know how to change. And if changing ourselves is so difficult, no wonder it can be frustrating trying to help others change. Are you struggling to make change? Are you frustrated because you can't get people to listen? Are your patients lost in the vortex of compulsion? Use the force to help them. In almost every attempt to create good habits in place of a bad habit, we must overcome indifference, status quo, fear, and downright laziness. Now, we could push our change effort uphill against the forces of gravity, friction, and inertia, or we could leverage the powerful findings of successful change experts. I am thrilled to have the opportunity to share what I've learned in my practice while helping thousands of patients make successful change. Cultural anthropologists have identified social tendencies that are hardwired into our DNA. These triggers conferred a reproductive advantage or promoted survival. In their book, The Pleasure Trap, Lyle and Goldhammer refer to these traits as the motivational triad. Move towards pleasure, move away from pain, and do it all with the greatest economy of energy. These ingrained mechanisms served us well historically when food was scarce and calories were at a premium. But they're killing us in the paradox that is now our modern life. Face it, it happens to the best of us. We're all human, and our patients are human. We can all get stuck in a rut. Now, most of our patients know that they should change, or they never would have shown up in our office in the first place. They even may say that they want to change, but status quo can be a formidable adversary. It doesn't have to be. Welcome to the third module in our Remarkable Influence series. In this module, we'll continue our discussion of the psychological triggers that you can use in your patient process to engage and compel your patients to take action. Look, you signed up to be an influencer the day that you decided to be a chiropractor. In today's world, this is a tough job. People are preoccupied, they're sick, and disenchanted. They need your help. But the truth that you share can be drowned out by the noise of an outside world. You have an awesome responsibility and a tremendous opportunity to make a real difference. So the stakes are high and the consequences can be tremendous. You can change the course of thousands of lives with an understanding of these psychological triggers. And if you commit yourself to mastery of these communication skills, there's no telling what change you can drive. But if you don't, in this modern world of sickness culture, your people don't stand a chance. Let's continue our discussion of these 6 triggers in theory, and then I will give you real-world examples of how to implement these and leverage these social influence technologies in practice, in a practical application like a superpower. You will step into a realm of influence that will drive results like you have never seen before. I love the way that social scientist Akshay Nanavati organizes this material for the business world. I will lean on his framework heavily to present these strategies for chiropractors to leverage in their patient education process. These techniques can be leveraged in any business environment to drive better outcomes. And we're in the business of saving lives, so when business is good, everybody wins. Let's pick up where we left off in the last module of Influence, Part 2. Number 3, create a common enemy. Humans respond to the idea of a common enemy. Use this strategy well, and you can get a group of people to march. People respond to the notion of a common enemy that they believe is the reason that they're not getting the results that they want. Sociologist George Simmel argued that we create common enemies because it unites us with a group of people that we believe to be like us. Let's face it, modern healthcare has blown it, and everyone is starting to realize it. At the end of the day, medicine and medical professionals are not the enemy, and that message does not resonate with most people. But the big pharma and big medical industry machine is under heavy scrutiny by a disenchanted and frustrated nation. The outside-in paradigm has left many people sick, tired, and broke. This is the real enemy. People are ready for a better way, and you have the answer. Shout it from the rooftops. Number 4, inspire curiosity. George Lowenstein from Carnegie Mellon discovered that when there is a gap between what we know and what we want to know, we will take action to fill that gap. It's referred to as the information gap theory. I love how Nanavati describes it as an itch that needs to be scratched. Curiosity not only inspires action, it increases activity in the parts of the brain associated with pleasure as well. In practice, be sure to build curiosity in every step, especially in the new patient conversion process. Whether you're doing a spinal screening event or a new patient consultation or examination, leverage curiosity to keep a patient engaged. Be careful not to make absolute and conclusive statements. They devalue the rest of the process. If you tell people straight away that you know what the cause of their problem is and you already have a solution for them, no matter how true that may be, doctor, it does not resonate. And someone who does not yet understand chiropractic care, the devastating effects of subluxation, or the power of the chiropractic adjustment will simply shut you off. Keep patients engaged in the process by using curiosity to move the process forward. Your statement should provoke curiosity. If you do this well, they will be dying to move forward in your exam process and will be eager to hear your report of findings. As the old saying goes, pull the noodle, don't push the noodle. Number 5, use social proof. Professor of psychology and best-selling author of Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion, Robert Cialdini says, if you can get people who are similar to the person that you're trying to persuade to speak on your behalf, it's a lot easier for you than if you have to try to hammer your message one more time into a reticent mind. Human beings are social creatures. We look to others to determine what actions we should take. Be sure that your patient process is littered with social proof. Use success stories, case studies, testimonies liberally. Leverage your tribe of successful and happy patients. Introduce patients to like others where appropriate. Nanavati repeatedly states, we have an inherent need to be part of a social community and to feel connected to others. It not only makes us feel secure and comfortable, it inspires us to take action to achieve our desired results as well. Nothing puts a new patient at ease like seeing a practice full of happy, successful patients. Everyone wants to be part of a group that are getting better results. Who better to demonstrate that than you? Number 6, implement scarcity. We all want to be part of a successful movement. If we see others enjoying the benefit of a product, an activity, or a behavior, we want in. We want to be part of that success. If we sense that we could find our answer or solve our problem, address a need, or get what we want, we are highly motivated to act. Now, if we feel that there may be a chance that we cannot get access to it, that there may be a limited supply or there's a prerequisite of some sort, we are highly intrigued and we want it even more. Scarcity is a powerful motivator. Now in practice, be careful not to jump to the solution. Again, if our patients sense that we are just too quick to an answer, that we are too ready and eager with our solution, they are suspect and disconnected. Conversely, if people sense that there may be an answer for them, there may be a solution for their problem, that they may be able to get what they want from you and your service, but they may not be a candidate, you will have their full attention. I love what Dr. Jamie Richards says right in his report of findings. Chiropractic is for everybody, but I may not be everybody's chiropractor. Frankly, you may not be everybody's chiropractor either. I know that I'm not. I am only interested in doing my best work, as I'm sure you are. I will not compromise myself or my care to fit the whims of my patients. I honor the trust that they have given me as their doctor, and I will only give them my best recommendations. Knowing where you stand on your recommendations for care is critical here. Getting clarity around your recommendations for care is the single most important step in increasing your certainty and conviction. I think that we can all agree that telling people that they need more care than they actually need is out of integrity. But I also believe that telling people that they need less care than they actually need is also out of integrity. Get clear on your recommendations for care, what you believe is truly best for your people, and tell them. They are counting on you for that. I know that you will use these techniques and knowledge to better your skills and improve your outcomes. There is a community of people outside of your office that desperately needs your help. Doctor, I hope that you are now better prepared to serve them. I'm excited to hear about your successes. Now go be remarkable. Thanks again for joining me for another episode of the Remarkable Practice Academy. I am confident that you found this training highly valuable, but the truth is, it only works if you use it. So train hard, stay focused, and make a difference out there. Remember, you're in the business of saving lives, so when business is good, everybody wins. I'm Dr. Stephen Franson. Go be remarkable.